Enforcing Normalcy, Disability, Deafness, and the Body, written by Leonard J. Davis, is a book that explores the history of disability and the social and cultural practices that have shaped our understanding of what is considered normal in society. The book argues that disability is a cultural construct, shaped by social norms and expectations, rather than a purely medical condition. The book begins by exploring the history of disability, tracing its roots to the ancient Greeks and Romans, who viewed disability as a punishment from the gods. Davis then explores how disability was perceived in the Middle Ages, where it was often seen as a sign of divine favor or punishment, depending on the type of disability. Davis also examines the development of disability as a medical condition in the 19th century, and how this led to the medicalization of disability, with doctors and scientists attempting to categorize and classify different types of disabilities. This medicalization of disability also led to the development of eugenics, where people with disabilities were seen as a threat to the gene pool and were often sterilized or killed. Davis then explores how the concept of normalcy emerged in the early 20th century, and how it has shaped our understanding of disability ever since. He argues that normalcy is a social construct that is used to maintain power and control over certain groups, including people with disabilities. One of the key themes of the book is the idea of enforced normalcy, where people with disabilities are pressured to conform to societal norms and expectations, often at the expense of their own well-being. Davis explores how this enforced normalcy is perpetuated through a variety of social and cultural practices, including education, employment, and the media. Davis also examines the history of deafness, and how the deaf community has challenged traditional ideas about disability and normalcy. He explores the development of sign language, and how it has allowed deaf people to communicate with each other and form a unique cultural identity. Throughout the book, Davis highlights the importance of understanding disability as a cultural construct, rather than a purely medical condition. He argues that this perspective is essential for challenging the societal norms and practices that perpetuate enforced normalcy, and for promoting greater acceptance and inclusion of people with disabilities. Enforcing Normalcy, Disability, Deafness, and the Body is a thought-provoking book that challenges traditional ideas about disability and normalcy. Davis provides a detailed and nuanced analysis of the historical and cultural practices that have shaped our understanding of disability, and offers valuable insights into how we can work to create a more inclusive and accepting society. Enforcing Normalcy also discusses the role of language in shaping our understanding of disability. Davis argues that the language we use to describe disability is often pejorative and reinforces negative stereotypes. He advocates for the use of person-first language, where the person comes first and their disability is secondary. For example, instead of saying, "a disabled person," one should say, "a person with a disability." Davis also discusses the importance of using language that is empowering and respectful, rather than language that reinforces negative stereotypes or dehumanizes people with disabilities. Another important theme of the book is the intersectionality of disability with other aspects of identity, such as race, gender, and sexuality. Davis discusses how people with disabilities who belong to marginalized groups often face multiple layers of oppression, and how this can further complicate their experiences of disability. He also examines the ways in which the disability rights movement has intersected with other social justice movements, such as the civil rights movement and the feminist movement, and how this has shaped the broader social and political landscape. Throughout the book, Davis emphasizes the importance of centering the experiences and perspectives of people with disabilities. He argues that people with disabilities should be seen as agents of change, rather than passive recipients of aid or charity. He also emphasizes the importance of including people with disabilities in all aspects of society, from education and employment to politics and culture. Enforcing Normalcy is an important contribution to the field of disability studies, and it has had a significant impact on the way disability is understood and talked about. The book has been widely read and cited in academic circles, and it has also influenced policy and advocacy efforts around disability rights. It is a must-read for anyone interested in understanding the history and cultural context of disability, and for those who are committed to promoting greater inclusion and acceptance of people with disabilities in all aspects of society.